Tolstoy says the strongest of all warriors are these two, time and patience. I wonder what you think about that. My name's Antoinette and I go live every Sunday and share whatever has been percolating in my brain that week. And so this week, I've had a few occasions where I have been reminded why patience is key. So full disclosure, I had to take a naughty girl speed awareness course this week. I got caught speeding less than 10% over the speed limit and was offered this instead of points on my licence. But it was actually really amazing for someone that took their driving test many decades ago. It was really amazing. And there were many things that came to my mind, but one was this. I found out that driving 10% over the speed limit typically decreases your journey by no more than 3 minutes. But the impact of that, were I to hit someone in my rushing to pack too many things into my day, could be fatal. And this, of course, completely moderated my driving this week. So on Friday, when my 2.5 hour journey became 4.5 because of traffic jams, a closed tunnel in Dartford, I had complete patience. I was like a Zen person, just whiling the time away, realising that I couldn't control the situation, that I was going to gain nothing by being frustrated, and instead I used the time to listen to podcasts, catch up on sermons, catch up with a friend, sing, sit in silence with my own thoughts. Actually, it was a really cool journey. And because I hadn't put too many things into the other end of my day, I had no stress points about being late for someone. And then on the way home on Saturday, I was at the front of a queue where there were 3-way traffic lights, and they take ages to start with. So the old me would have accelerated to get through them, so that I wouldn't have had to wait for 3 more rotations of the lights. But what was interesting for me was that I was sat at the front of this queue and I was pressured to make a rash decision. There was hardly any traffic coming, so I couldn't see anything at the other 2 traffic light junctions. And so there were lots of people honking their horns and saying, just jump the lights. But I didn't, because I had done my speed awareness test earlier in the week. And sure enough, the lights changed. But before that, at the very last minute, so the road was relatively quiet, but at the very last minute, a car zoomed through on the opposite side. And potentially, if I had given in to that impatient pressure behind me, well, the consequences could have been really, really challenging. So it reminded me, kind of big picture, you can't rush the process. So many things in life require patience, waiting, playing the long game. For those of you that have given birth to children, or your partner has given birth to a child, you'll know you can't rush that process. It takes at least 9 months. And even at the last minute when there's a due date and they're supposed to pop out, you might have another 2, 3, 4 weeks left of waiting, and you just have to be patient. And running your own business can be like that as well. I've been reflecting this week with my business coach at what a difference a year has made. So he reminded me that this time last year, I had said to him, my core business looks like it's going to be shut down. We're weeks away from falling over the side of a cliff. And if you think back to this time last year, it had just been a really challenging year. So we'd had Brexit, the final goodbye to Brexit, kick in January. We'd had the cost of living crisis start to really blow up, and the war in the Ukraine in the spring. And then we were just reeling from that, really trying to survive. We'd had riots in our cleaning team for one reason or another, because they were, well, actually not for one, because they were panicking about the cost of living crisis and didn't understand that you can't make overnight changes in a business of our size, and that things take meticulous planning and timing. But they were impatient and wanted results the very next day. And so many of them walked away. And things that we set in motion then are only now bearing fruit nearly a year later. So some decisions, while they had like an instant impact, like a very necessary and frightening price raise, have actually taken months for people to decide if their budget can cope. And even now, a year later, people are still jumping ship as the financial landscape continues to shift and change. And we are in a waiting game. There are all sorts of things that we're doing, all sorts of levers and tweaks that we're making. But those things may not come into action or bear fruit for another good while longer. Relationships take time as well. Only time lets you know if someone is trustworthy. Only time lets you see a fuller breadth of who a person is and whether it's right for you to be colleagues or friends, romantic partners, neighbours. And, you get the drift, all of the relationships that you have in your life. And actually, you've just got to watch and wait and see. Be patient. Adverts that promise people a quick and easy fortune by investing their money in get-rich-quick money-making schemes fall into this category too. And in the world of business, this is just a rarity, if not like a unicorn. And it's usually associated with some sort of pyramid or ponsi scheme. But for people who are desperate or big thinkers or dreamers, those quick and easy promises seem like an overnight dream that could be made true, and it worryingly could sink all that they've got into something that's only going to have devastating consequences for them and their families. Negotiations with a difficult or tricky person or a situation need at least one person to exhibit great care or patience, in case the whole thing deteriorates into a chaotic, emotional mess, really. Like, have you ever tried negotiating with a stroppy 2-year-old by matching their actions? How well did that turn out for you? I love this Chinese proverb that says, one moment of patience may ward off great disaster. One moment of impatience may ruin a whole life. As ever, I've got questions. And do share your thoughts below in the comments. So here goes. First of all, what in your life needs more patience or more time before quitting on it or indeed taking action on it? Second question, where are you being rushed to make a major decision? Is it possible that the promises or claims being made aren't what they say they are? And lastly, what examples do you have where patience, or the opposite, impatience, have had positive or ruinous effects? I'd love it if you're brave enough to share some of those things in the comments below. That's it from me this Sunday. As ever, I'm still on this journey. You've got my percolations, not my solutions necessarily, and I will be pondering many of these Sunday things for a good while yet. But I hope it's sparked something in your mind, and I'd love for you to share your wisdom with me. I definitely need it. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, have a great week and see you next Sunday. Bye.